Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Prasetyo with student ID 2521106. I'm from TBIG B class. In this occasion, I'm going to present the material of Ilmu Kalam as the final exam. The first material is coverage. Etymologically, the word coverage comes from the Arabic or karaja, which means to come out, appear, arise, or rebel. This name was given to those who left the ranks of Ali bin Abi Thalib in his dispute with Muawiyah. The main doctrine of coverage is number one, recognizing the legitimacy of the caliphate of Abu Bakr and Umar. The number two is sin equals disbelief. Number three is the khilafah is not valid unless there is free election between Muslim and not in way other than that. Number four is disagree with the opinion that a caliph must come from the Quraysh tribe. Number five, obedience to the caliph is something that is obligatory as long as he is on the path of goodness and justice. And number six is accept the Quran as a source of law beside hadith and ijma. And then the figure of the Khawarij is the number one, Abdullah bin Wahab al-Razibi. Number two, Nafi bin Qais bin Nahar al-Hanafi. Number three, Najah bin Amir bin Abdullah bin Sa'ad bin al-Mufarij al-Hanafi. Number four, Abdullah ibn as-Sofar as-Sa'ad. Number five, Abdul Karim bin Ajarid. Number six, Abdullah bin Ibad al-Mari at-Tamimi. And number seven, or the last, is Salabah bin Mishkan or Ibnu Ami. Okay, next, the second material is Syiah. Derived from the Arabic word Syiah, the singular form of this word is Syiah. Syiah is the short form of the sentence Syiah Ali, meaning follower Ali. Syiah, according to etymology, means one's defenders and followers. Besides that, it also means every people who gather on a matter. There are three main doctrines in Syiah. The first one is the concept of imamat. The second one is the concept of taqiyah, and the last one is the concept of al-mahdi and al-raja'ah. This teaching has four sects, such as Syiah Sabi'iyah, Syiah Itsna Ash'ariyah, Syiah Syadiyah, and Syiah Gulat. The third material is Mu'tazilah. The Mu'tazilah sect emerged in the 2 or 8th century in the city of Basra, Iraq. The emergence of the Mu'tazilah school began with Wasil bin Atta breaking away from his teacher Hasan al-Basri. Mu'tazilah comes from the word I'tazala, which means spirit. Mu'tazilah in the Al-Munjid dictionary has the meaning as a group from the Qadariyah group who declared themselves and are neutral from the two camps, namely Ahl-Sunnah and Khawarij. There are five main doctrines in Mu'tazilah. The first one is At-Tawhid. The second one is Al-Adl. The third one is Al-Wada wa Al-Waid. The fourth one is Al-Manzili bain Al-Manzilatain. And the last one is Amar Ma'ruf Nahi Munkar, or sending goodness and preventing evil. The Mu'tazilah school is broadly divided into 12 schools, namely Al-Wasiliyah, Al-Huzailiyah, Al-Nazamiyah, Al-Kitabiyah wa Al-Hadisiyah, Al-Bashiriyah, Al-Mu'amariyah, Al-Madariyah, Al-Sumayyah, Al-Hishaiyah, Al-Jahidiyah, Al-Kayatiyah, wa Al-Kabiyah, and Al-Jubayyah wal Abashamiyah. The next material is Murji'ah. This school argues that immorality does not harm faith and obedience does not benefit disbelief. That way, they give hope to every believer who disobeys. There are also those who say that Al-Iria is postponing punishment for the perpetrators of minor sins on the day of judgment. So, the decision whether he goes to heaven or hell is not decided in the world. There are four main doctrines in Murji'ah. The first one is postpone the punishment of Ali. The second one is leave the decision to Allah for Muslims who are big sinners. The third is putting the importance of faith rather the charity. The fourth is give hope to Muslims who sin big to obtain forgiveness and mercy from Allah. The Murji'ah sect is divided into two groups, namely moderate Murji'ah and the second one is extreme Murji'ah. The next material is Jabariyah. The name Jabariyah comes from the word Jabara, which means to force and required him to do something. In English, Jabariyah is called fatalism, namely the notion that human action and have been predetermined by God's qadar and qadar. Jabariyah argues that only Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala alone determines and decides all human deeds. The extreme Jabariyah figures are as follows. The first one is Jam bin Sofwan and the second one is Jad bin Dirham. Figures included in the moderate Jabariyah are as follows. The first one is An-Najar and the second one is Ad-Dihar. Well, the sixth material is Qadariyah. In terms of language, Qadariyah comes from the Arabic words Qadara, which has several meanings, namely power of ability, exaltation or glory, provision or size, and narrowing. According to the term, Qadariyah is a group that rejects Qadar, that is, a group that does not believe in God's decree on all matters. Qadariyah understanding states that humans have power over their action. It is man himself who does all the good and bad deeds of his own free will. Figures and views of Qadariyah is two. The one is Ma'bad al-Jauhani or inventor and the second one is Gilan al-Damashqi. Okay, the seventh material is Ash'ariyah. The Ash'ariyah school is a school of Islamic theology that was born in the second decade of the 10th century. These streams include the flow of Azwaja. There are five main doctrines of Ash'ariyah. The first one is God has Qadim characteristics that are not identical with God's substance and has a form outside of substance. The second one is the Quran is Qadim and not created. The third one is regarding human action. It is God who creates power and action. The fourth one is God can be seen because everyone who has a form can be seen. And the last one is God is not obligated to look after the benefit of humans. It is not obligated to give rewards to humans, and even God may give humans unbearable burdens. And then there are five figures of Ash'ariyah. The first one is Al-Ghazali and the second one is Al-Imam Al-Fakhrur Razi. The third one is Abu Ishaq Al-Isfirayini. The fourth one is Al-Qadi Abu Bakr Al-Bakilani and the last one is Abu Ishaq Ash-Shirazi. The eighth material is Maturidiyah. The Maturidiyah school first appeared in Samarkand in the second half of the 3rd century. This school also includes the Aswada sect. The factor behind the emergence of Al-Maturidis thought that gave birth to and the development of the Al-Maturidiyah sects are follow. The first one is dissatisfaction with the concept of Mu'tazilah theology, which is too excessive in giving authority to reason. And the second one is concern over the spread of Shi'ah teaching, especially in the Karamitah sect, which vehemently opposed the Salaf schools. There are six main doctrines in Al-Maturidiyah. The first one is reasoning and relevation. The second one is human action. The third one is the nature of God. The fourth one is positive of the Qurans. And the five is the preparator of the Christians. And the last one is the sending of the apostle. And then there are three main figures in Maturidiyah. There are Abu Mansur Muhammad ibn Muhammad al-Maturidi, and then Abu al-Yusr Muhammad al-Badzawi, and the last one is Najm ad-Din. Okay, the ninth material is Wahhabiyah. Wahhabi is a stream in Islam aimed at followers of Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab. Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab's thought can be said to have been controversial since long ago and invite a lot of criticism and even blasphemous from many people. Their teachings are far from Islamic values. There are five main doctrines in Wahhabiyah. The first one is dividing monotheism into three categories, namely Rububiyah, Uluhiyah, and Asma wa Sifat. And then the second one is the understanding of Tajsim. And then the third one is disbelief the follower of Imam Abu Hasan al-Ash'ari and Abu Mansur al-Maturidi. And the fourth one is very anti to the opinion of Mazhab Imams and followers of Mazhab. And the last one is it is easy to bid'ah, to mislead practice that are not valid and valid according to them. And then there are six main figures of the Wahhabi. The first one is Ibn Taymiyyah. The second one is Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab. The third one is Abdul Aziz bin Abdullah bin Bas. The fourth one is Muhammad bin Salih al-Uthmaini. The fifth is Salih bin Fauzan bin Abdullah al-Fauzan, and the last one is Abdullah bin Abdurrahman bin Jibrin. The next material is Ahmadiyah. Ahmadiyah, whose official name is Al-Jamiyah Al-Islamiyah Al-Ahmadiyah, is a sect in Islam founded in the 19th century by Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. There are two main doctrine in Ahmadiyah. The first one is recognizing the existence of a prophet after the Prophet Muhammad and the prophet status of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. And then the second one is believing that Imam Mahdi has come, namely in the form of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. And then there are seven figures in Ahmadiyah. The first one is Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, and the second one is Hazrat Hakim Nuruddin. The third one is Hazrat Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud Ahmad, and the fourth one is Hazrat Mirza Nasir Ahmad, and the fifth one is Hazrat Mirza Tahir Ahmad, and the sixth one is Hazrat Mirza Masrur Ahmad, and the seventh one is Maulana Muhammad Ali and Khwaja Kamaluddin. The next material is LDII. LDII was once designated as a divine sect because it was considered the reincarnation of Darul Hadith or Jamaah Islam. There are 15 main doctrines in LDII. The next is the figure of LDII. The first one is founder of LDII, Kiai Haji Nur Hasan Al-Ubaidah, and the several other. The last material is MTA, or Majelis Tafsir Al-Quran. MTA is a recitation, institution, or study of Al-Quran interpretation which seek to invite its congregation to study and practice the Al-Quran in everyday life. There are five main doctrines in MTA. The first one is recitation, the second one is Al-Quran Tafsir, Concil, education, and then the third one is social activities, and the fourth one is economic interpretation, Majelis Al-Quran, and the last one is health interpretation of the Quran Council. And then there are three main figures in MTA. The first one is founder Al-Ustad Abdullah Tufail Saputra, and then the second one is advisor Al-Ustad Nur Khalid Syaifullah, and then the last one is chairman Professor Dr. Andes Mugijatna. Well, that's all from me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.